Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you may be listening to us from across the globe. Welcome to another episode of The Doctors Are In here on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. This is Dax Carlisle. I am a tarot advisor, numerologist, hypnotherapist, and life coach coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. And joining me, as always, is my fabulous co-host, certified life coach and spiritual teacher, Dr. Rose Wilkerson, live from Berkeley, California. Hey, Rose.
Hey, Dax. Hey, everybody. So happy to be here on a Friday, another wonderful Friday day.
Another wonderful Friday. Here we are.
We are. And for those of you who are out there, we just want to say that we are a live call-in show. So give us a ring at 714-816-4628. And join us on the chat post at psychictalk.net/chat, C-H-A-T. Again, that number is 714-816-4628. If you have a question, we are going to do a mini live reading after a topic here. Be sure to press the number 1 after calling 714-816-4628. And don't forget, if you're at work or you're doing something where you can't be on the phone, join us at psychictalk.net/chat. And it's on our Facebook page, and then you can talk to us there. Type your message silently, and we will make sure to address any questions you have or concerns or whatever topics you want to talk about. So,
that's right. We actually already have on the chat post, and Sandy put in a question for today's show. So we will take questions and requests for mini readings right from the chat post. That's on our Psychic Talk Radio group on Facebook. You can just go there, just if you're on Facebook, search Psychic Talk Radio. There's a page in a group. Like the page, join the group. And scroll down, you'll see the chat post. It has it written all over it. There's different posts, but the one that we're chatting on, it'll actually say chat post, and there's a little red down arrow towards the comments, because that's where we're talking. We're using it like a chat room there. Like the post, share the post, and type in the comments with us, and you can ask questions, comment on the show, talk amongst yourselves, talk to us, the hosts, and even ask for a mini reading right there, just like Sandy did. We already got one.
That's right.
And we got some callers calling in. There's 3 callers already on the queue here. So call in now and get your spot, because we take the calls in the order that they come in. And if you hang up and call back later, you're going to get pushed to the bottom of the list. When you call in, make sure you press 1 on your dial pad so we know you want to be live on air with us. That's how you do it. And the topic today is your life purpose, finding your who, why, and how. This is going to be a quick one. It's going to be mostly open lines and your calls, and you can talk about anything on your mind. You can ask us any question about hypnosis, Vedic practices, mantras. You can ask us about hypnotherapy, NLP, tarot, numerology, psychic development, the law of attraction. I mean, pretty much between Rose and I, we have everything covered. You can ask any question you want. You can also ask for a mini reading as well. Today's show is sponsored by the Tarot Guild, the international organization for tarot lovers, students, and professionals. Since 2004, Rose, actually our birthday of the Tarot Guild is coming up rapidly. It's on Halloween next week.
Nice. Oh, yes. Great.
It's our 16th anniversary. We'll be entering our 17th year of the Tarot Guild. In a few years, it'll be 20 years that I've been doing the Tarot Guild, and wow, I'm feeling old now, let me tell you.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, not that you feel old, but that the Tarot Guild has been going on for so long. Sorry about that.
Right. Oh, it's great. It's absolutely great. More and more people are finding us. Last year, for the 15th anniversary, we launched a brand new website. So the brand new one, is going to be a year old now. We had websites starting back in 2010, so for like 10 years, had websites, but, usually a static website. We did have a Ning website early on, like the first year or two, and then we switched to a static website. Basically, a static website is just, a billboard on the web kind of thing, with some pages. But we decided for the 15th anniversary to launch a whole new social networking platform. So this is not just a website, folks. This is like Facebook. In fact, I often call it Facebook for Tarot, because you have all the wonderful features you find on the social media websites, the big websites, Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn, and especially Facebook. It's very similar to that, with the, liking and sharing and friending people and private messaging each other and chat rooms and groups and forums and, all the features you have on there, except it's all tarot all the time. And you'll find that new website at thetarotguild.com. It's not really a new website. It's a year old now.
Right.
thetarotguild.com. And you can join the website for free, just like you can join in, for free, and use all those features. But we do have a premium membership, a professional membership as well, that's open to students and professionals. You can join that, and you get a lot of extra perks. Like, you could take advantage of almost all the features, really, with the free joining the website membership. You just go there, click sign up, and you could use your Facebook button, your Twitter button, Google, or, of course, an email address and a password. And you join for free, and you can use all those features. But as a premium member, you can create features. You can create groups. You can create articles and all these kind of things. And you'll get a membership certificate from the Tarot Guild. You'll also get your application for the CTR, the Certified Tarot Reader certification. You'll get that paid for. It's included in the membership. So whenever you're ready, you can apply and go through the process. It's a quick 2-part process, and we'll get you certified. A lot of people are doing it. I've been really busy over the last couple of weeks certifying people, getting them their CTR certificate, getting them their membership certificate to the Tarot Guild. And for fall,
that's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm so glad that things are kind of, it took a year for people to even know that we've got this new website with all the fancy social media features and everything. But it's feeling like it's starting to snowball a little, Dr. Rose. It seems like people are starting to find it, and from all around the world, not just the U.S. We got people, oh my God, Korea,
Wow.
Europe, the United Kingdom, Canada, South America, Australia, New Zealand. We've got Japan. Yeah, we've got people popping in from all around the world. It's really exciting, let me tell you. And I did want to mention that for fall, we're running a special. When you join the premium membership, not only do you get all of that, all those features, all the benefits of being a member, you can read about them at thetarotguild.com/join. And not only do you get your CTR, your Certified Tarot Reader, the first level. There's actually 4 levels of certification at the Tarot Guild, and that's one of the perks of being a member is it's discounted for the higher levels like Certified Tarot Professional, Certified Tarot Master, Certified Tarot Grandmaster. It's normally $78 level for non-members, but for premium members, it's $47. So it's half, $50 off or something like that, half price, something like that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Not only do you get all of that and you get your CTR certification level 1 there. Include it with your membership. We're throwing in our tarot and numerology course. It's a course called Tarot by the Numbers that I've been teaching since 2004. For 16 years, I've been teaching it this way, where I teach all the tarot cards and all the numbers from numerology. I do them side by side. You learn tarot and numerology side by side, and we break up the deck numerologically and go through it step by step. Plus, there's a lot more in there on the numbers, on the cards, doing readings, how to create numerology charts, things on sacred geometry and how that leads into the numbers and to the cards, and Metatron's cube and the 5 platonic solids and how that relates to the deck and the structure of the deck. I mean, everything is in that course, and the kitchen sink. And it's normally $78, the number of cards in the tarot deck, but we're throwing it in free when you join the premium membership over at thetarotguild.com. So go check that out. Yeah. We got some fun stuff coming out. I can't believe it's going to be Halloween and the anniversary of the Tarot Guild next Saturday. And just in time for Halloween, I did want to mention tomorrow I'll be on Tarot Today Radio in this same place here, same bat time, same bat channel, folks. I'll be here with Mary Brown, and we're doing a kind of a Halloween episode. Of course, we'll be taking your calls and doing mini readings and all that fun stuff. But the last Saturday of the month, we always do the Psychic Spin segment, where we pull cards on things. And this week, Dr. Rose, this month we're going to look at Are Ghosts Real?
Oh, wow. Ooh,
yeah.
I like that. Very Halloween.
Very Halloween. Not only that, I thought, oh, yes, this is the time when we pull out our Halloween-themed tarot decks and start doing readings and stuff. And I started looking around at some Halloween decks and some lists of, people's favorite Halloween decks, top 10 Halloween-themed decks and things like that. And I decided to, what I'm going to do? I'm going to put together the world's most comprehensive list. I'm building this article for tomorrow's show that has well over 100 Halloween-themed, fun, spooky, gothic, scary, dark, and macabre tarot decks. And I thought, why stop at tarot decks? I'm throwing in the Oracle decks and the Lenormand decks as well. And I'm over 100 decks. This is going to be the most comprehensive list of tarot decks for Halloween. Whether you want to do the fun, cutesy side or the scary side, we're going to have it all covered. I'm also going to throw in some other fun Halloween stuff, like a couple of Halloween tarot spreads, some journals and coloring books, and this is something we can add to each year for Halloween. What do you think of that?
That's wonderful.
Awesome sauce. All righty, so today's topic, let's take a look here. Got to find my notes on your life purpose, finding your who, why, and how. So, even more people calling in. So get into the queue early, folks. It's starting to fill up now. So dial in at 714-816-4628 and press 1 on your dial pad. As soon as you get through, press 1. Otherwise, we just assume you're listening to the show. And that'll put you into the queue in the order you're called in. We'll take the calls in the order that they called in, 714-816-4628. We'll be getting the calls in just a minute. And Sandy's question in the chat there, I got to keep refreshing and see if we get any more questions in the chat post at psychictalk.net/chat. Let's see. Oh, Sharona says hi. So Sharona Rapsik from Magic Universe is in there. Yeah, you can go talk with Sharona, folks. And Sandy.
Hi, Sharona.
Yeah. So, we get this a lot in our line of business, whether you're a life coach or a tarot advisor or numerologist or what have you. what's my life purpose, Dax? What do I do? What am I supposed to be doing? You know, and we can get a lot of great clues, and we talk about it on the radio show, from numerology. We can look at your life path. We can look at your attitude number, your destiny number, your whole 9-number chart, and we can see where the energies are, where your strengths, and figure out from that, not necessarily telling you what your life purpose is, but giving you enough information that you can figure that out on your own, because once you know to not paddle upstream, and you know what your strengths and weaknesses are from the numerology, you know, you can see, and of course a good numerologist will also, you know, list out a lot of the career paths and things that fit with those numbers, you see. And of course in tarot, you know, we could, you know, do a spread, we could pull cards and take a look at it, you know. But I thought let's come at it from a different direction, and I call it the who, why, and how. And I always give people this exercise, you know, even if I'm going to do their numerology, pull tarot cards, what have you, I have them kind of go through this process of looking at their who, their why, and their how. So the who is, this is where you want to look at what do you stand for as a human being, and try to narrow that down to like a one-word core value. What is your core value? And a lot of the times this will come from your past, how you were raised, but not necessarily. Some people, you know, develop their core values later in life, but the majority of us develop our core values very young. And so you want to come up with this rock you can stand on before you even think about life purpose, career, what I should be doing, how I could be serving people. And I really do believe that, by the way, that that's why we're here. We're here to serve other people. And that's really what you're figuring out when you're figuring out your life purpose. It's not all about you. It's about everybody else. And not everybody, but we'll get to that in a second. How can you serve them? And so you're really getting this down to a one-word core value, and it's basically who you are. That's why this section is called Who. Who are you really? And there's another aspect to this. Who do you serve? Who do you serve? Because once you know who you are and your core value or values, something you can really hang your hat on, that regardless of everything else, no matter what anybody says to you, you're not changing this. This is your core value. You know, this is who you are. That's going to give you clues as to who it is you should be serving, which leads on to the rest of the experiment here on figuring your life purpose. What do you think about that, Rose?
Yeah,
that's a one-word core value.
A one-word core value.
Yeah,
so can
and
you
it
give
could
an
be
example?
anything.
Did you give an example earlier?
Not really, no. And I don't want to taint things by giving too many of that, you know, but what I'll say is this. It could be anything, really. It could be anything. I was actually watching, reading some articles and watching a bunch of YouTube videos in regards to this information to prepare for the show. One person said that, you know, his core value is just belief. He believes in people. And
nice.
that's what he hangs his hat on. He believes in people, and it leads into who he serves. He serves entrepreneurs. And the reason for that is he not only believes in people, but he realized that he believes that it's the entrepreneurs that change the world. Everything from the small mom and pop entrepreneur up to Elon Musk. And that's who he wants to serve. He wants to help other entrepreneurs serve other people with whatever they're doing, whatever their life purpose is, you see. And he figured that out from first getting down to his core value is belief. Your core value might just be service. That might be your core value. And by the way, that's true of me. So I have always felt that way and have been serving since I was very, very, very young. Doing things for other people. When I was 15, I joined the Air Force Auxiliary, the Civil Air Patrol. I started doing search and rescue missions, going on missions to find crashed aircraft, lost hunters in the woods in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania, and before I was 18 and went into the regular Air Force, I had already been credited with 3 life saves and had been on 10 Air Force search and rescue missions before I was, by the time I was 17. Yeah. And then I decided that it was a natural, graduating from high school was a natural thing to just go into the military. So that's what I did. And continuing service, serving, and it's been that way ever since, working as a life coach and a hypnotherapist. I'm serving people, helping people with their problems. And it leads to the who, because as I look at the core value service and what I've always done, most of it has been around the military. And so I focus in on helping your family of the military, veterans.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. So see, spending time with just this first thing and getting your one-word core value and figuring out who you are, and then that will lead into who you serve if you take the time to really look at it. And, by interacting with my core value, what groups of people am I involved with mostly? And that'll give you a clue to at least potentially who the people are you're supposed to be serving. And then once you have that, you can go into the why. Why do you do this? And it really is what your purpose is going to be. I mean, this whole thing together is your life purpose, but the why is the main thing. And all you have to do really is go and look at successful entrepreneurs, successful people that have found their life purpose and are serving and are helping people. And what you'll find out is the majority of them, the why came from their pain. So what they did was they looked back on their life thus far and thought of what was the most painful moment in my life. What was the worst situation I was in that I extricated myself from? Something that you don't even want to talk to other people about. It was so bad. Something that you maybe you go to a counselor about. I don't know. This may be, it's something that you've worked through and overcome, but you could still be struggling with it right now. That's okay. It can still become the purpose, right? So it's the thing that you wouldn't on your worst enemy. It's the thing that you wouldn't want anyone else to have to go through. Not your family, not your friends, not your kids, not even perfect strangers would you want them to go through this. And so that's the why, and then we come up with the how. But that's the why. That's the purpose. That is also leads to the problem. That's the problem, the big problem you're going to serve and help somebody else with, so that they either A, never have to go through it, or B, you're going to get them out of it. and it's going to be something really big. And this is probably going to come from your pain. You know, maybe, I mean, it could be anything, you know, but maybe the worst experience you had was going on stage and trying to give a presentation and you totally froze up and it was the worst moment of your life. Or maybe it was, you know, in high school, you know, or maybe it was for your work or something like that. Maybe you've struggled with your weight your entire life. And it's been horrible. It's been a horrible roller coaster, and you don't want to see other people have to go through that, or other health-type issues, you know. Maybe the hardest thing, the most painful thing that you ever did was quit smoking, and you see people struggling with that, and you want to help people with that, you know. Maybe you were abused as a child. Maybe, my gosh, you know, it's going to be something painful, often something we don't even want to think about anymore, you know. But but it really is telling you what your purpose is, you see. And then there's the how. So how are you going to serve other people in relation to your core value and the why? You know, what this big pain is / problem you're going to solve for other people. And so I tell people to make a list. In fact, you know, I think half the things I tell people on the radio show when people call in, I say make a list. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I have.
Make a list, you know, put all the things you don't want on the left side, and then what is the exact opposite of that? Okay, put that on the right side, and that's what you're going to concentrate and you're going to attract into your life. Put a piece of paper and a pen next to your headstand, and when you God, I can't talk. Your bed nightstand, and so when you wake up in the morning, you can write down your dreams and make a list of your everything in your dreams. You know, I'm constantly telling people to make lists because it works. It works. And you don't do it on your computer. You don't do it on your laptop. You don't do it on your pad. You don't do it on your phone. You get an actual journal, or at least a piece of paper or a notepad or something, and a pen. And of course, if you're laying this on your nightstand next to your bed, you want to make sure it's a pen that works. So when you wake up, you don't go click and it doesn't work, and you have to go find another one, and you're still half asleep, and now you've forgotten the dream. Or dreams. So you want to make sure it's a working pen when you do that. But yeah, when you do these kind of exercises, use a real pad of paper, a real journal or notebook, and a real pen, because there's something magic about writing things down. And what you're going to do with the how is you're going to make a list of all the ways that you've helped people, especially with this particular problem, or how you could help them if you haven't done it yet. So you're going to write a huge list. You're just going to start writing. There's so many ways, okay, that you can help people, help someone through the problem you discovered in the why, the thing that you wouldn't want to see anybody else have to struggle through. How? How can you do it? You're going to find that there are many, many ways, and you're going to write this list out. And the reason why, here's the caveat to this whole thing with the how, Dr. Rose. By the way, did you figure out your pain and the why yet? Are you thinking about it?
For me particularly, I already know what my life purpose is.
There you go. Okay, see?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So many people don't, and they don't know how to get there. Well, this is how you get
That's
there.
True.
I mean, without me doing your numerology chart and doing a life coaching session and tarot and pulling the tarot cards and seeking out help from a professional to figure out your life purpose. This is how you do it yourself.
Yeah.
Going through the process. Now, here's the caveat. This is why, back to the why, but this is why you make this list out, because there are all these ways that you could help people with a particular problem or that pain from the why, but you're not going to like doing them all. You're not going to like doing them all. So that's why you make the list. The key is to figure out what ways, modalities that you can work with people to help them solve this problem. What ones you enjoy doing. That's the key, because success with life purpose. Remember earlier I said, look at a lot of people out there, even the big ones, Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk, the people that help a lot of other people coming from a pain that they had. And they're serving them with the how. They're doing it a specific way, and they're joyous about the way that they do it, you see. And they're extremely successful. So success will come at the intersection of your who, that one core value, who you are and who you serve, the intersection of that and your why, your purpose, and your problem that you're solving, and the how that you enjoy doing. Not just doing it because it solves the problem, but you actually enjoy the process of helping somebody solve the problem. That's where the real success comes from, is the intersection of these three things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. I can understand that.
Yep. So there you go. That's how not only define your life purpose, but be really successful at it. Because if you don't take the time to do the how and work through it and figure out what you really enjoy doing that also solves the problem for the who, solves the why for the who with the how. If you don't take the time to do that and you just go, okay, I can solve the problem doing XYZ procedure and I can make a lot of money at it.
Right.
But you don't like doing it. Are you going to be successful ultimately?
Right.
Well, you might initially make some money, Rose, but you're going to be so unhappy in the process and not enjoying. You're going to give it up. You're going to give it up. You're going to stop doing it. You're going to fail. You're not going to be successful. You got to have that last part. Yeah, it has to be something you enjoy doing. Let's say I go through and for me, I figure out that, who I really am, my one-word core value, service. I want to serve, veterans and military. The why, the big pain. Let's take quit smoking, okay? And then I look at all the different ways that I can help people quit smoking. Well, you could do counseling with them. You could do coaching. You can do individual coaching. You could do group coaching. You can do hypnosis. You can do NLP techniques. You can do EFT. You can combine these things. There's so many hows. But as you analyze it and write it all down on a piece of paper and think about it, you start realizing that I don't really like working with individuals. I'd rather work with groups. So I'm going to hold group stop smoking sessions. I'm not going to do individual. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't like doing large groups. I like working one-on-one with individual people. So you're just going to see individual clients, And you might decide, okay, I love coaching people. Even though I know how to do hypnosis, I don't really like putting people in hypnosis. I don't enjoy the process. So I enjoy life coaching better. Or, I enjoy doing emotional freedom techniques. I enjoy doing tapping with people. I don't enjoy talk coaching. I'd rather coach in this fashion using this modality. Or I like using NLP techniques. I really don't like doing EFT. So this is an example of there's all these different ways you can help this group of people with this problem, but there's only going to be one or two hows that you really enjoy doing. Tell you not only what your life purpose is, but how you're going to do it, in what fashion you can help solve the problem for the other person and be really successful at it too.
Okay.
There you go. So that's the topic
great
for today. Your life purpose. Finding your
and you know what
why,
I was gonna
how. Yeah.
I was gonna add something that it's even if you know what your life purpose is, or for those who basically are saying, I already have this figured out. It's always a great thing to from time to time go back and ask these questions for yourself, because sometimes we can get lost. You get lost in your work,
it could change too,
responsibilities and things of that nature. And it's good to kind of say, okay, so what is your life purpose? Well, are you on that trek to doing that, to fulfilling that? I think that's a wonderful, every once in a while, periodically ask yourself these things. Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, too, why it's good to review is what you enjoy doing with the how can change. Also, you might not have all the aspects together. In other words, you may have one or two of the steps, but not all three. Like you might go, well, I know, oh, please, Rose and Dax, I know what my life purpose is, but you might not know the who.
Exactly.
You might know the pain, but and you might know the pain and you might know the problem you want to solve, but you don't know the who, or you don't know the how.
Right.
Or maybe you know the who, but you're not quite sure about the why or the how, you see. Or maybe you have the who and the why, but you don't have the how. Yeah. So, it's good to, even if you know what you're sitting out there in the audience, I know my life purpose, it's still good to go through this exercise because it's going to allow you to bring the whole thing together and be successful at it, not just, I know what my life purpose is. Well, okay, but are you doing it? And how are you doing it? And are you enjoying the how? And are you serving the right people, the who? And you know who you are. That's another thing. You could find your life purpose, know how you're going to solve the problem, even know who you're going to serve, but you might not know who you are. You might not have the core value down. And what does that mean? That means you don't have a foundation you're working from. Things can then crumble, become stuck or unstuck, and mess up the whole thing, because you don't have that rock. You don't have that core value. You don't know this is the real me, you see. Yeah. So, I think it's really powerful. Yeah. Yep. And by the way, it kind of goes along with the numerology of the day, because the whole date, 10/23/2020 adds up to 10. 1 + 0 is 1. It's a one day. It's all about you. It's all about finding out who you are and what's your pain and who you should serve and what your life purpose is. And you can really accomplish that. You can get a lot done today. The day is the 23rd. 2 + 3 is 5. That's that high energy number, the number of the adventurer. You could really take that energy and the focus on yourself and really get it done. Go through this exercise and move forward, with your life purpose. You really could. Oh, the card of the day is the moon card. 5. Yep. And that is 18, so 9. And the thing about the moon card, it's a card about psychic, intuitive, awakening, dreams. We mentioned dreams earlier. Strange experiences, madness, female power and rhythms and cycles, self-deception, fear. The thing about think about with the moon card, it's the animus and the anime, and the moonlight, the moon just reflects the sun. And, even when the moon is, full and bright in a dark sky in the night, you're going to get shadows. Things are not as clear as in the daylight, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm getting from this particular card. It has a lot of different meanings. Sometimes it's talking about your dreams. Sometimes it's talking about your psychic intuition, things like that. What I got from this for everybody is take a look at everything. Projects, partnerships with people. Maybe you're applying for a job. There could be things that are hidden that you're just not seeing. So take the time to research, take the time to look into everything, see what's going on. Just throw that out there for everybody. But yeah, this is a great day, and we're heading into the weekend. So we're going to move from the 5 energy to the 6 and then the 7 on Sunday. And with it being that one date, it's a great day to start with this process, because the date today is a 1 energy. That's self. Who am I? What's my core value? Tomorrow is going to be a 2. That's other people. Who do I serve? And then the why. Yeah. And then Sunday would be the great day figuring out the how. So
right.
Even the numerology is like in alignment this weekend. The next 3 days is, great for this project. Awesome sauce.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So let's call in some questions before we look at what's coming up on the network here. But I want to get some calls in. So Sandy in the chat, I don't know if you've been in the chat, if you've noticed any additional questions in there. Sandy's asking us about some insight regarding an interview she had today with a company, and she said the interviewers were absolutely horrible and unpleasant, especially the manager.
Oh, wow.
And she says, I have the skills and experience and don't understand why things went so wrong. Well, sometimes that happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And I haven't even pulled it. I haven't even pulled any cards yet, Rose. I'm just, just looking at this from a life coaching perspective. What do you think? Because what I'm seeing is that when you see something like this, if their interview process is that horrible and unpleasant, if the manager is that bad, you don't want to work for a company like that.
Right. And that usually has nothing to do with you unless you've met, if they don't really know you, unless this is inside of a company that you already work for, then probably what they're doing, and this does happen from time to time, where a company already has in mind someone they want for a position. But it's a matter of process that they have to interview people. Now, they don't have to interview people in a horrific way, as it sounds like for poor Sandy, but that they probably want somebody else for that position. And like I said, if they don't really know you, like this is not like another position inside the company that you already work for, then that all of what they did has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with you. What that has to do with is that clearly they're making a statement that they don't want you for the position, and they more than likely what they have is somebody else in mind. So that horrible, unpleasant manager was probably there to make you go into another direction or something like that. That's what I would imagine. I don't think it has anything to do with your skills or experience. I think they have somebody else in mind, and I'm not saying this is the right way to do it, but there are companies that are just and managers who are completely horrible at these kinds of things. that they wanted to make it clear to you that this is not a place where you want to work. So, and I think that's a signal for you. I think it's best for you not to be in that kind of position if they're going to act like that, because I'm telling you, if you're doing that now and if this is just an interview, that is not going to be a job that you're going to want, because they'll do that all the time.
That's what I was saying.
If you take it, then what you're telling them is that it's okay to treat me that way. It's okay to behave in that manner, and that's not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's probably a great job. You'll probably be great at it. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it's more of, like I said, they want it for another position, or you can even take it that's a spiritual nudge that says this is not the job for you. I mean, you don't necessarily need a reading for that, but that I would separate out
exactly
your skills and your experience. That has nothing to do with that situation. That's all on them. And that should be a signal for you. Do not work for those people. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to be in that situation, no matter how good the job is, because they're just going to treat you badly after that. And then you'll be calling back and what can I do?
What could I do?
You don't want to have that kind of experience. Yeah.
And it's a shame, but a lot of people feel pressured, and that's why I'm glad we did the life purpose thing, because I think people are not following their life purpose, paddling upstream, which is a comment I made earlier in the beginning of that conversation. They're going against their natural inclinations. They just think, I need a job now. They think of the money. They go, I got to get this position in this company. No, you don't. There are a lot of companies and a lot of positions, and something's going to be more in alignment with your life purpose, especially after you go through that exercise we just talked about. And it may lead you in a completely different direction. I'm a big proponent of especially nowadays, because we're headed towards an economy where there'll still be jobs, but there's going to be a
shift.
The way I see it, Rose, there's a shift where everybody's going to be an independent contractor at some point. And companies are already doing that because it saves them on the bottom line. They don't have to give you insurance and all that fun stuff, But it's not really a negative for you. Being your own person, being the self-made woman, being the entrepreneur. Because, you have to go out and you have to, spend a few $100s a month for your own health insurance, but you are in control of your life. What projects you take on, how much money you make is not up to the company, what they are going to give you as a salary and maybe a small salary bump every few years. No, you can go, I'm taking on 10 more projects and I'm going to, double my monthly income. Or you can cut back and say, okay, I want to cut back, and it's all up to you. You are in full control. So that's why I'm such a big proponent of looking at your skills and abilities, finding your life purpose with that exercise we just talked about, and going for it. Doing your own thing. But looking at Sandy with her job thing, just the life coaching you just did, just what you came up with is really all we need here. I don't even need to look at the cards, but, the cards I did get, I'm going to, just real quickly go through this, Rose. The very first card, Queen of Swords. Mm-hmm. Look at this logically.
Yeah.
Look at it analytically, which is everything you just said. Doc. The very first card tells you the clue right there. If it's this bad and you're not even you don't even have your foot in the door, you know it's not right. It's not right. Some of the other cards I got, the Queen of Cups, the High Priestess, talk about your intuition, your psychic ability. In your gut the right answer.
Yeah.
Of not only what's going on with that interview, but that whole position, that whole company, what you actually should be doing, all of it. You already have a gut instinct on this. You just need to listen to your own intuition. By the way, the card of the day, the moon card, of course it showed up. And again, I mentioned the moon card is also about psychic and intuitive, paying attention to your intuition, your dreams, your for information, your psychic ability, just your gut instincts on things. You know, that's 3 cards in one 5-card spread talking about you got to pay attention to your gut instincts here.
Right.
And 3 of these cards are major arcana cards. When I get that many major arcana cards, this is really a life-changing message here, giving her the guidance, you know. And the central focus card is Temperance, which is a card of patience. It's a card of the blending of opposites, cooperation, moderation, balance.
Right.
This all needs to be balanced. What you're doing has to be balanced with what is my life purpose.
Right.
So I hope that helped you out,
And
Sandy.
I wanted to say something really quickly because she responded, and
course.
I did respond back to her. But one of the things it reminded me of something else is that sometimes people take on whatever negative stuff that they experience from someone else. So, Sandy, for example, if this is something that you find happens a lot to you in job interviews, then there's some inner work for you to do about that, because that means that you're attracting it. But if just people are just being mean, don't ever accept that or take that on as that is a problem for you. Unless it's a chronic issue where you're finding yourself being in that kind of situation, then that means that there is some inner work for you to do. Not that it's okay that they treat you that way, not that you should be treated that way, but that's a signal that, okay, there's something going on with me where I'm drawing this kind of situation in. The other thing, too, is that, Sandy, you need to focus on what it is, the kind of a work environment that you really want. I mean, we talk about on the show plenty of times about the law of attraction and how you do that. Hold the image of what it would be like to be in a work environment where people are supporting you, they appreciate you for your time and your talents and things of that nature. What does that feel like? How would you feel? How would you go about in the office when you're in that kind of supportive environment? So you want to hold on to that image and keep feeling that as often as you can, at least once a day, perhaps more if you have time. It doesn't have to be a long time. A good 2 to 3 minutes is good, or even 5. But hold on to that image. Don't let that situation, those people obviously have problems, and so you move on. And I know that you're in a job search, and that can be, a little hairy, but always hold on to the positive energies. You want to attract that job where you are loved and supported and compassionate. There are a lot of job environments that are out there like that. You may not run into it a lot, but they do exist. And believe in that. Feel those emotions, and you will find that, that position. So, go about in the world that in a way where you know that the universe is helping you. A lot of times we have this kind of thing, or we have to look out for this or look out for that, where all this caution and danger and whatnot. But if you go about in the world that the universe is going to take care of your needs and to help you find what you're looking for, you'll do well. You'll do well. So don't worry about that. I just wanted to add that in to her and to everybody else who are going through these situations. I know jobs and prosperity is a big thing, nowadays with the global pandemic that's going on. Yeah. Don't get caught into all the negativity and all of that. If you want to be aware of what's going on, be aware, but don't get caught into all the emotional fears and stuff. I know it can be difficult, but keep the positive spin. Attract that positivity. Keep dreaming. Yes, this is a different world. We're going to have to go about things differently, be, safe and wash your hands and all those kinds of things and what have you. But keep holding the light and the love, and you will attract that into your life. So that's my statement on that.
Right. And, I see it as a reframing. In neurolinguistics and NLP, we call it reframing. It's the same exact situation. You're just looking at it from a different angle. And, so many of us succumb to the fear that you were talking about, when in reality, any situation, no matter how bad it is just an opportunity for something else. So the times we're living in now, people having to recreate themselves or having to, instead of seeing clients in person, we're all doing it over Skype and Zoom, as life coaches and hypnotherapists, and we're having to change our procedures and everything, but it's actually better. We're discovering,
right.
We're actually discovering, especially like in hypnosis, hypnotherapy type work, what we're finding is
right.
that we actually get better outcomes, because rather than somebody traveling to your office somewhere that they've never been to, it's a strange place with strange people, maybe they've never met you in person. Now you can put videos up online. People get to know you through your videos, where you discuss your processes, you discuss, the problems, how you help, et cetera, et cetera. And then you get them on a Skype call or Zoom or Facebook call or what have you. They're at home or in their office, more likely at home. And, they're in familiar surroundings where they are the most comfortable in their own home. And automatically the process works better. They're more comfortable.
Right.
But that part aside, as far as reframing goes, reframe this as an opportunity to not just get the next JOB, but to really become successful. And the way to do that is you look at, don't do things the way everybody else is doing them. Do them 180 degrees backwards. It's that hanged man card in tarot. If you do it backwards from how everybody else does it, you're going to be more successful. I'm going to give you an example real quick, and then we're going to take some calls. As an example, what do people do when, this situation happens and they succumb to the fear? They start throwing everything and anything out there at the wall, hoping something will stick. We've had callers call up and say, I sent out 100 resumes and I haven't gotten the interview yet. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're confusing the heck out of the universe, because you're sending out 100 different resumes. The universe doesn't know what you really want. What you really should be doing is the other way around. You don't send out 100 resumes. You go through this process we just discussed. You figure out your life purpose. You figure out a career or a particular job with a particular company that fits your core value, who you serve, why, and how. And when you find that one position, you apply for it. Or you find that one career and you start doing the research, going down the rabbit hole. How do I, rather than what I call the shotgun approach, just sending out 100 resumes, anything and any possibility, just as long as something sticks where I can get a job and make money. That's not the way to go about it. 180 degrees the other way, folks. Get real crystal clear. This is the job that fits my who, why, and how. This job with this company, period. This is what I'm going for. You put all your focus on that. And that's how the law of attraction works. That's how you draw that perfect job or career in, not by just applying for anything and everything in the hopes that something sticks.
Right.
There you go.
Okay.
So let's see.
That sounds great.
Let's see who's been waiting the longest on the phone lines. It looks like area code 786. I'm not familiar with that area code. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Luz, calling from Miami, Florida.
Hi, Luz.
Oh, hi.
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Have we talked before? I think I remember talking to you.
Yes, and it was on this subject before, yeah.
Oh, okay. So what do you want to chat about today?
I just wanted to find
Got a lot of
out
background noise.
if there was any Any guidance, if I could receive any guidance regarding my current employment status, changes with the career. Nothing has changed, so I don't know if anything has changed.
Well, if you want it to change and you're putting it into motion, remember, you have the control here. Don't sit back and this is what we've just been talking about with Sandy, and this entire conversation is about people taking control and not just go, well, when the company gets around to, changing my position or making things better for me.
No,
Does that make
I meant
sense?
that I have applied to other jobs and everything, but nothing has really settled in. No job offers or any other kind.
Right. So this is what I'm getting, is it's exactly what we were just talking about. And I'll try to put it a different way because the devil card's showing up, which is attachment. You're too, and it's the central focus here, Dr. Rose. Luz is too attached to the way things are for anything new to come in. Mm-hmm. There's too much of an attachment to it. And it might not be conscious. You've applied for other positions, other jobs, and consciously you think you're making the shift, but you're not. Subconsciously, you're still attached to, I have to be working in this type of company, doing this type of work, and you're even still attached to the job that you're in that you don't want to be in. And this happens so much that when I work with clients, they think, I can't stand this job, I can't wait to leave. And when we delve into it, we find out, in fact, they are actually still attached to that job, the miserable one they don't want, but subconsciously they haven't let go. You got to let go, put everything in order, especially emotionally. The very next card is the Eight of Cups. It's a cups. The cups are emotions. It's a card where the individual in the card has stacked up all of these cups. These are all emotions and attachments from the past, and he or she has, she's dealt with them. She's done. And now the figure is moving, it has turned around and is moving away from those and up the side of a hill. The figure has their walking cloak on and their walking stick, and they're moving onward and upward. That's what you need to do. The other thing is, remember, Rose, when I was just, talking about looking at all this 180 degrees upside down like the Hanged Man?
Uh-huh.
Yep, that was the next card. The Hanged Man.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, Luz. You have to take time out. The Hanged Man is a delay, okay? This is your opportunity to take a step back and think outside the box and look at it 180 degrees upside down from how you're looking at it. Go through this process, figure out what you really should be doing, and go after that as far as it could be a position, it could be a new job, a new position, or a whole new way of working, a whole new career, taking your own skills and abilities that you've acquired over your lifetime and going through the process. Who can I solve the problem for? Why? What is the big burning problem that I'm going to solve, and how? What processes? How am I going to work with these people to solve the big problem for? And you might be surprised at what you discover, because you have these skills and abilities. By the way, that's the very next card that shows up, which is the Nine of Wands, saying you already have the battle wounds, and all of those staves that are lined up in this card are the skills and abilities you've already acquired over a lifetime. You don't need to be a slave to the next job. You can solve a big problem for other people. You can create value. We call it creating value. Because as soon as you solve XYZ for ABC person, now you've created value, People are willing to pay a lot to have an issue solved for them, And I'm not saying everybody is wanting to do that or able to do that. Maybe they want to work for a company in a JOB, but you can still take the time to figure out what's the right JOB, not just applying to any position, but in what position for what company do I solve the why for the who with the how. So that's what's coming up for you here. It's, I'm not really getting anything as far as, the particular jobs you've applied for or, things like that. There's a larger, two of these cards are major arcana cards. There's larger things going on here, just like it was for Sandy. It wasn't about that one job interview that was really horrible. It was that overall, she needs to take a new look at how she's approaching finding the right fit. And I think it's exactly the same for you. Exactly the same for you. Well, I hope that helped you out. We got to move on because we're rapidly running out of time here. Before we take another call, Dr. Rose, do you want to tell folks what's coming up on the Psychic Talk Network in the next few days?
Sure. So tomorrow we're having a wonderful show called the Psychic Spin segment on the Tarot Today radio show with Dax, our very lovely Dax, and Mary Brown as the host. And they're going to be asking the question, are ghosts real? And they're also doing tarot for Halloween. So that's going to be a really fun show. That's going to be at 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and all of our shows are at that same time, 11 o'clock Pacific and 2 p.m. Eastern. On Saturday, on Sunday, I'm rereading the same thing. On Sunday, there's going to be an open lines and angel Reiki, as well as free tarot readings for the whole show, and that's with Magic Universe and with Sharona Rapsick. On Monday, we'll have more Wisdom of the Soul from Janice Fuchs. And then on Wednesday, there's a series wrap-up of Catherine Hahn's You Have the Power to Change the World, and that's on her Compassionate Light Healing and Guidance Hour. And then next weekend, Friday and Saturday, we are all going to be on break, so there's no Doctors Are In show, and there's no, the Saturday Tarot show going on. We are taking a Halloween break, so we hope that you guys will enjoy yourselves next weekend on Friday and Saturday. And that's what we have for the upcoming week.
Awesome. And if you want to look at, more upcoming shows, I actually have everything filled out all the way up to December on our upcoming shows page. It's real easy, psychictalk.net/upcoming. That'll take you right there.
That's
or
right.
If you're on our website, psychictalk.net, just click on Listen Live or Upcoming Shows. It'll give it to you. And a lot of great shows coming up. I'm excited to have a little break next weekend. There's so much going on. I mean, not only is it Halloween on Saturday, as we mentioned earlier, it's also the 16th anniversary of the Tarot Guild, and it's Doug's birthday, my partner, as well.
Oh, wow.
So,
yay, happy
yeah, exactly. A lot going on, and actually he's having an operation on his knee on the 29th, so it's kind of good taking off those 2 days so I can help him out. He's going to be on crutches for a couple of weeks probably at least. Getting a meniscus tear taken care of. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. So I'm glad. And it's funny because a lot of this we weren't even thinking of, over a month ago when we decided to take the 30th and 31st off. I didn't even know that was going to be 2 days after his operation at that point. It's like a synchronicity how this all came together, taking those 2 days off. Yeah. But we'll be back the following week. Dr. Rose and I will be back in 2 weeks from today on the 6th, and Mary will be back on the 7th. It's her once a month, the first Saturday of the month she does There's a Rock for that. And so she'll be back in 2 weeks as well after tomorrow's show. There you go.
Wonderful.
So that's what's coming up. Yeah. And speaking of the Tarot Guild's 16th anniversary, once again, I want to invite everybody, if you didn't hear it at the beginning of the show, the Tarot Guild is the sponsor of our Friday, Saturday, and Sunday shows. And we'd love for you to come over to thetarotguild.com, our newer website that is now a year old next week. And it is a social networking platform. You can come over and join it for free. We also have the premium membership with the fall special where I'm including my tarot and numerology course when you join as a premium member. But you can also join the website 100% free and enjoy all of the features and hanging out with other tarot folks. That's right, thetarotguild.com. Come over and check that out. And let's see, who's been waiting the longest? Are you taking a look at the chat post there? I don't know if there's any more questions on the chat post. I don't see anything.
I didn't see anything either, but I'll take a look.
Oh, Rita's in there now. Hi, Rita. Yeah, that's where you go, folks. Go to psychictalk.net/chat, and that URL will always take you to the chat post for that day's radio show. There's still time for you to pop in there and chat and even ask for a mini reading right there. But we're going to go to the phone lines. Let's see who's been waiting the longest. Area code 651. Caller, what's your name?
Hi.
Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Christiana. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Hi, Christiana.
Hello, Christiana.
How you been?
Been all right. I was just looking for a mini reading.
Okay, what's your burning question for us?
Well, it's the topic of the day, I guess, is career. I was just wondering what if you see me getting a job anytime soon as far as being a psychic reader online.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it does look like you are making a shift here. I'm seeing one door closing, another door opening. It's like one cycle is ending and a new cycle is beginning for you. This is a really great move for you to be doing that. Let me take a look here. So, okay, so it's one of those it's one of those spreads where it just doesn't want to give me a strong yes or no answer. And when I get that, it's one of those muddled answers where it really could go either way. In other words, you could it could be a yes and you could really get this going, or there's a delay. It's all up to you. There's more to be done here. I'm seeing a shift in foundations here. I think there's something you're missing. You're not quite seeing something that would move things along. And it's working with other people.
I have had several interviews so far where I've done tester readings.
Right,
and
okay.
So far, for the most part, I've been turned down for the positions, except I'm waiting to hear back from a few. Still haven't heard back from a few places. So I don't know if I'm like not being accurate, or if I'm too nervous, or what the problem is.
Right, and that could just be practice on doing these kind of readings in this fashion. But I'm getting a strong indication that you are supposed to work with a group, okay? And it's all a matter of finding the right group as well. Also, preparation. Maybe, I don't know, the feeling I get is like you could use some more. Okay, there's two different things. One is if you really want to go down this path and working for a particular online service or something like that, they're all different, and they all want their readers to read in certain ways and things like that. You know, you may have to take the time to do the research into it, going on there and finding out, okay, how do these people do their readings? What's it like when I'm on the other side of the video call or the telephone call or however they, you know, do the readings, and really figure out what's going on. You know, what does a particular company want from their readers? You know, how do they interact with the clients? How do they answer the questions? Things along those lines. And then practice.
Mm-hmm.
Practicing doing those kind of readings with, you know, get some volunteers and get really comfortable with it so that when you go for like an interview with a test reading that you're doing for the network or the website or the group, that you're really prepared, that you feel really confident, you know. That's number one. Number two is, you know, which leads back to everything we've been talking about, that finding the right path. You know, what problem are you solving, for who, and how. It's that process we talked about in the beginning of the show for life purpose. Now, this goes to, Dr. Rose, what we were talking about after we went through that. Remember, we were discussing how you may already know your life purpose. And so, you know, Christiana sounds like she knows what she wants to do. She wants to be the professional reader, and she knows the life purpose. But that doesn't mean she has all of the steps.
Right.
And the strong feeling I get is that you want to go back to that, you know, re-listen to the show, go back through that process and do it yourself, Christiana, and, you know, really, you know, get your core value, the real you, who you serve, the problem you solve, what's your biggest pain in your past, and, you know, is that related to a problem that you can solve for other people, and the how. And we kind of have the how. You want to do readings for people, but you want to get niche. You want to get a niche going here. You know, I'm not just a tarot reader or a psychic or however you work. I solve this problem for this kind of person. You know, women between the ages of 35 and 62, I help them find the love of their life, or I help them get back with their love of their life, or rekindle something, or I help them with this, or I help them with that, or maybe I'm the financial psychic. Maybe I'm, you know, there's so many areas to niche in, and, you know, having done this now for 17 years with thousands of tarot readers as members of the Tarot Guild, I see it over and over and over again. People want to be the generalist. I do tarot readings, which is akin to saying I'm a hypnotherapist, I'm a Reiki master, I'm an EFT practitioner. Yeah, with those modalities, I can solve a lot of problems. But you know what? People don't care. They don't care what your modalities are. They don't care if you list out that, okay, I'm a psychic with this amount of experience, I'm a tarot reader, a numerologist, I also do Reiki and EFT. They don't care. All they care about is, I have this question, can you answer it? I have this problem, can you solve it? And I think you'll be a lot farther along if you figure out your life purpose, figure out the who, how, the who, why, and how, and what can you niche in? What big problem can you solve for somebody as a psychic reader? And you might not need these other forms, reading services. If you become the specialist, that makes you the expert. And now you can go out on the web and you can create videos and create a YouTube channel and a page and a group on Facebook, what have you, LinkedIn, whatever. Pick one. And what you can do with this is you can become the expert, because now that you've figured out the who, the why, and the how, what problem you're solving for what group of people, You can narrow in on that. Every video you put up is you expounding upon this issue, different aspects of it, how you work with clients, things involved with the problem, and different kinds of videos where you can explain this and write articles and blog posts and put posts out on social media and images, on Instagram and things like that.
Yeah, I have all of that.
The clients are going to find. The clients are going to find you if you do that.
Yeah, I do have all of that, but I've been having trouble, I think, with the marketing aspect of it, just getting it out there and really getting people engaged and interested. So I have about 8 years of experience with doing psychic readings, but I don't know. There's some kind of block there, and I know it's probably my fault, but I just haven't been able to break that open, and open the door so I can get customers.
Let me ask you, Christiana, have you used social media at all to promote your psychic reading abilities?
Yes, I have. And it's been just difficult. I don't know. I have some good reviews. I think I do pretty good readings. I think just the problem is the funding to really market myself and get word out there. And so I don't know.
I have a suggestion for you, and I don't know if you've already done this or tried this, but one of the things to do, there are a couple of suggestions. So one is that sometimes in terms of marketing, it can be, I would say, scary in a bit because there's a lot to learn. And not that you have to learn everything, but what you want to do is to focus on one particular platform if you can. And one of the things that I've learned I work for an online company that provides spiritual services, courses, and products. And one of the things that helps to really put you out there is what you offer for free. Now, that could be in many different things. I'm not saying do all your readings for free because, that's not going to help you in the long run.
Yeah.
But things that people have done, especially tarot readers, let's say, for example, they'll talk about a card for the day, a card for the week, what energies are about. They could talk about the meaning of a card. Well, what happens if you get this card kind of thing? Some people have done free, like, one-card readings online, and I've seen them do things in particular groups. There are some groups that are open to the like on Facebook, for example, where you could say, I've seen some really popular ones. I don't know if people still do this today, but there's one where you have 3 cards and you have them face down and say, just tune into yourself for today and choose one of the cards, and then I'll let you know what they mean a little bit later. And a lot of people get engaged in that. They say, I choose number 1, number 2, and whatnot, and then you can talk about the meanings of those cards. You don't have to go into great detail, but, just to help them in terms of getting into the tarot mood, yourself. There are those kinds of things. Sometimes it's just a motivational statement. I've heard that we have a good social media manager who talks about, for example, if you do this on Instagram, putting out positive messages, even if it's messages about tarot in particular, whether you create them or not, or you can find them on Google, because there are a lot of Google images that you can use, and you build up your audience so high. And she said even it's easy to build it up to like 10,000 people because of the kind of messages that you're putting out. And then when you advertise yourself, people will flock to that. So there are different ways of doing that. And so I was just giving you just a few, to start with. Maybe you've done them or not. There is also, we've talked about this online, courses and stuff called Udemy, udemy.com. They have a lot of wonderful courses on business. And you want to look for the business aspect. You already know about tarot, but you want to do the business and marketing kind of thing. So they have, every month, they put their courses on discount for $9, $27. And some of these courses are like $200 or $300. So, and they actually have something going on right now. I'm not getting any money for saying this to you, Right. So I'm just letting you know because I'm on their list. So when those courses go on sale, I know I have plenty of them, and I'm a course buyer, not always a course taker. I'm working on that, but you can do that. There's also another good system that's come out, an online course system that's called Center of Excellence, and the center is spelled with an R-E. I've seen them on Facebook, and I have a few of their courses, and they do have ones on business, on spiritual businesses and marketing. So those are the things that you want to focus on. And they go on sale for, like some of their courses are $100 or more dollars, but they'll sell their courses for, what they say, £27. Maybe it's close to $25 or $30 in U.S. dollars, depending upon what the, exchange rate is at the time. So, you can take a look at those as well. And that's what you want to do. Just, if you're looking for more information, and sometimes it's really better to do that, especially when you're doing marketing and marketing yourself, then you want to look for a course that you think is going to help you. That'll help you get over your hump about, or your, uneasiness about doing that. And then again, the suggestions that I gave can also help in the meantime, as you're learning more and things of that nature. So hopefully that's something for you that you can take a look at.
Yeah, just to tag onto that real quick is, it doesn't have to have anything to do with spirituality or readings. Just any courses that help businesses promote. Anything like, how to promote your service or business on social media, how to market in other ways. There's so many courses on Udemy, for instance, on things like that, using social media. But the other thing, the caveat is that you want to take it always back to about your niche. Everything should be aimed at that. So when you're doing these social media posts, like positive posts, if you're the relationship psychic advisor, you want everything to be relating to that, to relationships. Write some articles, the top 7 ways to know your husband's cheating on you. The top 5 ways, to find the love of your life. Anything that's relating to your topic that just makes you the expert, and not necessarily promoting your services yet, just putting a lot out there, and like Dr. Rose was saying, the promotional images on Instagram and on Facebook and so forth, and just, building up your following.
Yeah, there's a few things that I could try out. I've tried the majority of what you guys have suggested, but there's a few things I could try out there. One thing I noticed that people really like is the short videos that I do, and they're free card readings, and I'll put them, it's like a slideshow with music to it, and it'll show the cards and the messages, and people seem to respond to that a lot. So that's one thing I've had a little bit of success with.
Well, give it a try, and, call back and let us know how things are going, and maybe we can look at more stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for calling in, Christiana.
Yeah, thank you both for the reading.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Yeah, the one thing I keep coming back to, though, Rose, for Christiana, is, what I was getting in the cards is I just feel like she's not marketing herself as the expert, that it's too general, And we're out of time for the show, so we're going to stop live streaming in like 10 seconds here. So bye everybody out there that is listening live, but everybody listening in archive, you'll hear the rest of this. This is what I'm talking about, and everybody that's on the phone lines. Sorry if we didn't get to your call today, but remember, Mary and I are taking calls tomorrow. You can call into tomorrow's show, same telephone number, same time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Write the number down. We'll be here. But just to finish up with Christiana is that do what we're talking about, but not niched enough. In other words,
right.
and we didn't have time to ask Christiana to go into depth. She talked about doing the readings and doing the videos and having the nice music playing, but what readings was she doing? See, this is the thing. Readers just do things too general. Even what you were saying with, you know, popping up cards, you could do some of that, you know, but it shouldn't just be, you know, popping up images of cards and talking about a card. Well, yeah, but that applies to all tarot readings. What does that have to do with the expert in romance? If that's what she's doing, you know, like I said, you got to go through this process, figure out your life purpose, figure out who you're serving, why and how. What's the big problem you're solving? And that's the mistake psychics make, is that they don't figure out what is the one problem. Because when you focus on that one thing, you become the expert in that, you see.
Right.
And then everything you post is going to be about that. So if you do these nice videos of you doing a reading, for instance, it's going to be a romance reading, you know, or it's going to have something to do with romance. Your quotes of the day and your positive things that you're going to pop up are not just going to be general ones. It's going to be specifically about romance. You know, I can't even think of it all.
There are people who also do. I've seen tarot readers, Christiana. One of the best things to do is to go to YouTube and see what some of the popular tarot readers are doing there. I've seen there's a woman, her channel is called Consciousness Evolution Journey, I believe. And what she does is that she does tarot readings for all the astrology signs. And that's her thing. She has it, and you don't even see her face. You see cards. She does different decks. She has her affiliate links to all the different decks that are out there. She has, let's see, on one particular thing,
500,000 subscribers. She's got 500,000
and she'll
subscribers.
have at least 1,000 people who will see, you know, either of her videos, right? And she, so you don't see her face. She does the cards. She has a beautiful background, and she's talking, and she's doing the. So you know, and that's a niche, right? That is to do tarot readings for the different astrological signs. And all of that.
Oh, by the way,
but you know that she's getting money for that, and she's getting people, you know, clients and things. And there's
she's
a
getting
lot
money
that she
from
does.
the channel.
She does this exactly, and she's getting she'll get money from the
clients
channel.
too.
You know, people clicking on with a pay-per-click type of thing. So she's getting paid for that kind of thing. Those are the ones that you want to take a look at. And notice how she's focusing on, like when you're dealing with social media, focus on one platform. Don't do the mistake of doing several platforms. People do that, and then they ended up, you know, it's a lot of energy to kind of disperse out there. Do YouTube. YouTube is great. You have a pretty background.
Oh,
people see your.
If I was starting
hand.
from scratch, I would only do YouTube.
Right. Yes, I totally agree. I think YouTube is really the way to go for a lot. And the thing is that she doesn't show her face. I'm not saying you shouldn't show your face. You might want to do that. There are some who do show their face, and they do love readings. They do all kinds of stuff. There's another woman who's called Get Life 333. She's another one. She has thousands to hundreds of people who look at her videos, and she does readings. There's one woman, it might be Get Life 333, but I can't remember. She even does workshops for people on how to help people grow their business on YouTube, in addition to what she does for readings and astrology and things of that nature. So that's what we mean by finding
that's a good
your
one to
niche.
look into.
Like tarot can be applied to any situation and any area of life, but what is the area that you would like to serve? Who are the people that you would like to serve? And that's what you got to think about. And then do your research. Go to YouTube. Take a look and see what these folks are doing, because they're doing some pretty phenomenal stuff. And the thing about it, too, is have a sense of longevity. Like, you know, back in the day before we didn't have the Internet, Dax and I are old dinosaurs, so there's actually a time that there wasn't the Internet. To believe that. And social media platforms, you know, you'd have to put ads in the phone book, you know, put up posters and flyers and go to the, what do you call it, the business, what do they call the business organizations, that for each city that has that. You know what I'm talking about.
Chambers of Commerce, the Teamsters,
Chambers of Commerce.
All the different things.
Right, you have to get out there
so you could do talks
the business networking workshop. See, now with social media, you don't really have to go through all of that. See, that could be like 10 years in the making to help you get, let's say, be a millionaire. We'll just use a millionaire. Or even if it's $500,000, you can do that in a shorter period of time when you're using social media. Just find your platform, and we are recommending YouTube if you want to do that. But find your platform and really work that platform. So any kind of marketing business courses that you're going to take, you want to focus in on that particular platform. There are a lot of people that make lots of money on Instagram. So it just really depends. You know, take a look, do your research, see what calls to you, and then go for that one particular platform, all your online courses and marketing and whatnot, focus on that one platform, and you're going to get to where you want to be in terms of a reader. You know, it'll take you a shorter period of time, but 3 to 5 years is not it's not a waste of time. It's much shorter than spending 10 or 20 years, you know, doing it the old style, the way we used to do. The way you used to have to back in the day. So, you know, I wish you lots of luck with that.
It's so much harder to build up locally, for instance. You know, that's what you were doing is back in the day we were building up locally, and we don't have to do local now. We have the entire world now, and it's so much faster, you know. But it to me, it all comes down to, you know, having your expert status, focusing in on one thing. Remember you mentioned how that one channel she niches by doing tarot cards, pulling cards, and doing readings for each individual sign. But see, if you were the romance expert, you could niche in that and then sub-niche into the reading you're doing with the tarot cards for the individual signs are all about what's going on with their love life only.
Correct.
Not just general information in their lives, but specifically romance. So you do romance readings for each sign with tarot cards or psychically or however you do it, you know. And that's the real key is niching down. You know, there's some really successful general readers out there, but they've been doing it for 30 years. It took them forever to get to where they are now. They have big YouTube channels and big followings and big podcasts now, but they've been doing it for 30 years. Like Christiana Guade, which is, you know, she's got the same first name as our caller, Christiana, and she's been doing this for 40 years or however long, you know. If you're just starting out now, you can't. I'm not saying you can't do the general, but you really, the way to do it is to niche. And I did want to make the caveat that I'm not against reading services. I'm not saying don't go to work for a reading service. Mary, my co-host tomorrow, she works for Keen. She's worked for Keen for years. She does really well on Keen, you know, which is a phone website service as opposed to audiovisual, you know. If you really want to do that, if you haven't checked out Aranum, check out Aranum. You know, it's a lot easier to get. Aranum. Yeah, it's a lot easier to get onto Aranum as a reader. They're not as stringent. Yes, they do a test reading, but it's more of a formality. They're just really checking your video connection, your audio connection to the platform, and making sure that you can give a decent reading. You know, they're not, you know, looking at accuracy and all these details. You know, they're not doing it like some of the other big services out there on the web that are very stringent about who they allow on the, you know, Keen used to be much more open. They're doing a lot of television advertising now, and maybe they've tightened it up a little bit as far as becoming a reader there. But Christiana, if you're still listening, if you haven't checked out Keen, apply to Keen, and especially Aranum. You know, if you really want to get onto a service, check out Aranum. But the thing I was getting in my reading was that she doesn't need this. nobody out there listening needs this. You can build your own business on your own.
Yeah.
And you could be highly successful without working for somebody. You remember, they take a big chunk, 50% or more, of whatever's being charged to the client. So if it's $5 a minute, if it's $5 a minute, you're making $2.50 a minute, on it, which is still good. But you don't need to do that, especially if if you're going to be a general reader. I think that is a good place to start. But if you're going to niche in something and become the expert, I'm the financial psychic advisor. I help you make those big decisions in your corporation. There's so many areas to niche. Write a whole bunch of them down and see what resonates with you. And if you can niche down and make all of your posts, videos, everything you're sending out to the world through social media around that one thing, you're going to be known as the expert. It's like, oh yeah, Christiana is the go-to person for romance. As an example.
Yeah, remember that you're dealing with a world out there in terms of people who have. Most people have access to, let's say, YouTube, for example, and you can be an expert. There are a lot of experts on YouTube, and you can be one of them and carve out your own niche, just like what Dax is saying. And so, there's not like one big poobah of tarot and tarot reading and whatnot. There are experienced and maybe some who are new, but you can carve out your niche. There's so many people in the world. Just think about all the people that you can help. And make that your drive. Just focus on what platform you want to use and go from there.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, I say go for it with YouTube, but I'm not saying you don't have a Twitter account. I'm not saying you don't have a Facebook page or a Facebook group.
Right.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
But you concentrate on that one thing here. I'm trying to find this one thing I want. I know we got to end the show here, but I wanted to leave one more thing because this is great information for people. As an example, is one of my colleagues, Stephen Gonick. He's an EFT practitioner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I love his YouTube channel. I go there and check out his YouTube videos on doing EFT and stuff like that, but his niche is romance. So he doesn't put himself out there as I'm an EFT practitioner and I'm going to help you with everything from this pain and this fear and stop smoking and romance and losing weight and 80 different things. He's niched down that he helps people with their relationships with EFT.
Yeah,
and he's known for that. He's the to guy for attracting the one. And I think his website is like it's single2soulmate.me. M-E. Yeah, so it's like single2soulmate.me. And yeah, he's focused in on that one niche, and a lot of the stuff that he puts out there on social media is about romance and relationships. And yeah, he does the occasional general thing about, EFT for cats and dogs, or EFT for achieving goals, or how to do EFT in general, things like that. He does that. And so you could be the romance reader doing a YouTube channel, and 80-90% of your content is in your niche, but you could still do a general thing on how does tarot work, and individual cards, and the structure of the tarot deck, or whatever it is that you want to do. Yeah, you could still do those. It's just you want to make sure that 80-90% of what you're putting out there is in your niche. Absolutely. Right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging with us all this time. There's so much great information on this show today, I think. Right, Rose?
Absolutely. I hope you guys get the opportunity to go back and listen, and thank you so much for supporting our show, and thank you for all of our callers coming in and asking questions and allowing us to be able to help you in some in some wonderful way, we hope.
Right. Thanks to all our listeners and callers for being here. We don't have a show without you, and thank you for being here, Rose.
Yeah, and thank you for being here, Dax. This is always fun to do this on a Friday morning or Friday morning afternoon.
Afternoon, yeah. But what I really love about our callers too is they bring really cool, often interesting questions that lead into fascinating discussions like we just had. And the thing is that, you have your individual caller who has their individual life issue where they want a reading on, but it ends up helping everybody listening.
Right.
That's what I love about it. It's just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so we'll be back in 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks.
That's right.
From today on Friday.
Yeah.
And I'll be back tomorrow with Mary.
Yeah, tomorrow with Mary. So you guys make sure you see the show at 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Eastern. And then you guys have a wonderful Halloween weekend, and let us know when we come back, what did you do for Halloween? It's going to be the full moon on Halloween, too, so that's going to be really interesting.
Nice. It's going to be a different Halloween this year, for sure, with the health crisis, but it's going to be interesting. Oh, yeah. Can't wait to find out. Yep. Bye, everybody. Bye, Rose.
Bye.